Hey, kia ora whanau, you're here with me, the maoriwargamer, and today we'll be playing a Walking Dead All-Out War Battle Report. Sure. Right, welcome whanau to this 180 point Walking Dead All-Out War Battle Report, which sees Lee's group, Lee from the Walking Dead Telltale Game, versus Rick's group, who, in Rick's absence at the moment, is being led by Dale, Peg-Leg Dale. There he is with his bucket hat on. He's got one leg. He's ready for action. He's roaring. In an abandoned campsite here, forested campsite. It'll just be a simple battle for supplies, for valuable supplies. The two groups have located a large cache of invaluable resources and will stop at nothing to claim the supplies for themselves. So we've got our groups here, and we've got walkers infesting the area all over our valuable supply tokens. We've got Carl, Dale, and Michonne here. The Michonne from the Vengeful Hunter booster pack. Dale's RV right in the center. And that's what our battlefield's looking like at the moment there, whanau. So simple match. First to 7 supply counters wins. We've got 9 supply counters on the field, or until we reach max threat level, after which the group with the highest supply counters will achieve victory. So I'm taking the first turn with Lee's group. But before we go on to turn 1, we'll take a closer look at the groups that we've got today. So we've got Lee's group here, played by me. They will be led by Lee, tactician. He's got some nice abilities here. He's also equipped with body armor to reduce damage, and his trusty fire axe, which gives him some beastie melee rolls, a blue and a white to go off there. Then we've got little Clementine. For this game, she's going to be playing as a runner, and she's going to have an additional red dice for her melee. And she's also equipped with the claw hammer, so she's got rolling off 2 red and 1 white. Should be invaluable. And as long as she's running with Lee, she won't be panicking. And then we've got Sandra here, the hardened veteran version of her. So she can perform 2 movement actions in the same turn, but she can't run twice. I've also equipped her with some bandages because I'm expecting her to get around the field quite a bit, and if she gets isolated, she should have time to just quickly bandage up any wounds she suffers. I've also given her a handgun, give her some range capabilities, as Lee and Clementine there are just going pure melee. So hopefully we're going to have a good time of scavenging those supplies and getting back to our camp. We'll go take a look at Dale's group. So leading this group, Dale's group, we have Dale, prison advisor, tactician. He's got a prosthetic leg equipped, which will allow him to run up to 6 inches, and he can ignore damages taken with that prosthetic leg. He's also got a machete there to boost his melee prowess, so he's got 2 white dice for melee. Then we've got little Carl Grimes, little Carly boy, Carl Jr. Basic Symphonia survivor there. He's got the lucky hat, so if he runs out of 0 health on a star roll, he's restored to 1 hit point. So that will give him a bit of survivability. He's also got the 22 revolver to give him 2 red dice for shooting. Then we've got Michonne, the Vengeful Hunter Michonne, in her riot armor. Not equipped with any there, but she's got some groovy attacks, special attacks against Brian Blake, the governor, which is not on here. She's also got a cool melee ability there, but she's also equipped with the AK-47, which gives multiple shots and a red to her shooting roll, so that'll be 2 red. So groovy stuff happening there. Dale's group versus Lee's group. Who's going to come out on top? We'll find out as we go into turn 1. Right, whanau, so end of turn 1, activation phase. Pretty simple, not a lot happening so far. Early game. No supply counters have been have been recovered so far. We've got Lee, he ended up just running straight over this way and drawing the zombie over to him. Sandra here, she's the hardened veteran version, and she can sneak twice in a turn, so she is snuck and snuck. Probably should have brought her in to help Lee out in combat, but yeah. A little Clementine over here as well, ready to show down with the Diner Grandma zombie. Then over on this side, Dale, peg leg, who's hobbled over to this wooden barricade over here with police, and then Carl's come this way as well, drawing police officer zombie from that supply token, freeing it up, and behind that cover there, but she's going to be able to navigate it around it because that'll be in the kill zone. Got this old mate up here, chilling out with the crate of canned food, and Michonne, she's just simply snuck forward, done nothing else. She doesn't want to fire off her gun just yet and cause mayhem. So that's the end of the activation phase. We're going to go into the event phase and see what happens. Right, finally, so got our zombies into kill zones. Officer Zombie's going to take on Carl, and he might end the same way as his TV show counterpart. Spoiler alert for those who stopped watching, haven't seen it, or just gave up watching Walking Dead because it is dragging out too long. So instead of watching Walking Dead on the TV, a horrible slow-paced show, I'm glad you come over and stopped into the channel, because I'm going to provide greater Walking Dead content with just more enjoyable stories. So the event phase here, rouse lurkers, just bump the threat level from 1 to 2. We're in the all quiet there, so nothing's going to happen, and we'll just go straight to the melee phase. We've got 3 melees about to go down. Right, so melee phase, threat level's bumped up 1, and we're on threat level 3 now. And successful combats all around the table there. Lee took down his one, no executions with his fire axe. Clementine as well, she took down Grandma Zombie, and Coral is still alive, ready to fight, took down that one. All potentially be able to be reanimated in the end phase, which we're going straight into right now. Right, finally, so end of the first turn in this Walking Dead all-out war battle report. 180 power level, 180 point battle. We're just opening skirmishes have been initiated, but nothing exciting just yet. No supply counters claimed by any of the 2 opposing survivor groups, and zombies all around. Only one zombie here, Grandpa Zombie, managed to get back to his feet and passing over to turn 2 with my opponent kicking off the activation. Alright, finally, so the end of the second activation phase. A lot going on that time. First, Sandra collected her token here, supply counter, and it contained the booby trap incident. So she took a blast and lost a hit point of health. But it also ended up blasting off the zombie off his feet, so he knocked down prone. Then what happened was Michonne climbed up the RV and unleashed her AK-47 straight into the zombie that was on here, and he got his brains blasted off in a critical hit. Michonne rolled an ammo check after that shot, and she's out of ammo in her gun unless she finds some, perhaps in the supply counter right up here. Who knows? Beautifully painted, by the way. And bumped our threat level from 3 to 4. We're in low threat, and hoarded the zombies all around the bottom of the RV, so she kind of doesn't want to hop off there. Lee took advantage of the zombies drawn away to come into uninhabited supply tokens, and ended up in a rumble with the gut-eating zombie. Another beautifully marked supply counter there with the Aku Aku mask for our Crash Bandicoot lovers. Keep sliding over through the forests, through the Atlanta campsite, over the trees. Carl picked up a supply. He ended up picking up a metal pipe from his one, and Dale is about to go down with the zombie here. as we go into the event phase on turn 2. Right, finally, so turn 2 event phase, we've got the Roamers card. So we move the zombie edge. My opponent, very devious, very dishonourable. He's moved Mohawk Zombie into combat with Lee. And in revenge for that, I ended up moving, I didn't want to mob out Dale, so I want to get rid of Coral. I really don't like I really dislike his cowboy hat, hey. And so I brought this this lady here over to Rumble. So we've got 3 Rumbles ready to go down as we move into the melee phase. Alright, finally, so end of the melee phase on turn 2. Lee was successful and he ended up decapitating the Mohawk Zombie with his fire axe. Over on this side here, Dale took down his zombie. What's his name? Carl only got just tied combat, so just repelled her. And our threat level bumped up from 4 to 5 in this exciting game of drama and fear. You need to learn to fear the Walking Dead. That's what I always say. If you've ever had a conversation with me, I throw that in every conversation I have. But now, wowee, was that exciting? Stay tuned for lots of more action as we go into the end phase. Alright, finally, it's the end of the activation phase on turn 3. Things are spicing up right now. Currently, Lee's group is on 4 supply counters. My opponent is on 3. So the race to 7 is heating up quite nicely. We had a lot of action going on there. Threat level currently on medium, threat level 8 as a result of a couple of things. So Clementine's activation, she reached under the car there to grab the supply counter, and the lurker happened to be under there. Didn't manage to didn't manage to bite her, but she ended up suffering a scrape. So she's got she's down a point of health. What else happened? We had Carl searching another supply counter himself. Did he? No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Ignore that. Carl ended up moving over towards this way, sneaking this way. He tried to shoot into Clementine, but Clementine has a special rule, just a kid. And he wasn't, he saw that she was just a kid and he couldn't bring it in his heart to shoot her. So he ended up blowing the brains off another zombie. And bringing in the mayhem around him. Pretty mad dog. Old Lee is over in the forest up here, ready to search that counter. He ended up picking up and scavenging out an old gun from the supply tokens. And was Dale as well, searched his one and picked up an ammo reload. He's over in this forest. He also activated his leader ability to take the initiative from me. It's an interesting choice. Yeah, so Sandra took a shot into Michonne and brought her down quite a bit, a critical hit there. And Sandra also ended up losing her, using the last of her ammo on that. So yeah, not a lot of active walkers on the field at the moment. It's everyone's all engaged in combat. Carl is about to get mauled to death. And we're just going into the event phase on turn 3. Right, so event phase, the herd came in handy for Dale stealing that initiative because he got to direct where the herd got to go. And our 3 prone zombies that were on the field have all stood back up, and he's ended up directing the herd over to poor little Clementine. Very heartless. So yeah, that's the mob building up there. We're in threat level 9. 4 supply tokens to me, 3 to Dale's group, and we're about to throw down in melee. The 2 kids right in the center of the battlefield. Quick bird's eye fly. Right in the center of the battlefield here, we've got Carl about to go down with 3 zombies, and little Clementine about to go down with 3 zombies. Clementine's already injured, but she's got a nice little hammer there. And Carl has his lucky hat that will keep him alive potentially, but he doesn't have a lot of melee options. So it's going to be interesting, very dramatic. You'll be biting your nails. You'll be praying for the kids. Won't somebody please think of the children? Let's go in and see if they survive as we go into melee phase on turn 3. Right, little Clementine, brave young girl fighting against overwhelming odds of the zombies. Unfortunately, she does not have any success here. My opponent's roll off versus my roll off. It's got triple criticals there. They are going in for a feasting frenzy. So that's like 3, 3, 3, 1. 3, 3, 3, 1 equals 10. So that's 8 points of damage there. Clementine, who's got only 4 points left, is mauled to bits with this. So Clementine is ripped to bits by the zombie shreds. Lee over here. No! Clementine, no! Heartbreaking when a father figure sees the child he's supposed to look after ripped to bits, and she reanimates as a grandma zombie. Even more heartbreaking. But that's going to solve a problem there. We're going to need to start attacking each other as the fights as the supply counters were getting scarce. So Clementine's dropped her 2 tokens right there, and the zombie herd will keep powering on. We'll see if Carl suffers a similar fate, and we'll go into that fight now. R.I.P. to brave Clementine there. First casualty of the game. First casualty of any Walking Dead game that I've played actually. To get mobbed by zombies like that, so tragic. Send a quick prayer for her as she goes on her journey. But that's the end of the melee phase. Our threat level's up onto threat level 9 currently. Carl actually survived his one. I rolled a whole lot of blanks. He lost 2 points of health, so he's got 3 points left. If anyone watching, if you can clarify, once he loses that 1, is that dead, or does it have to go down to there as well? The skull's dead, eh? So if you lose that 1, then you become dead. We're going with that. But yeah, tears and the morale of Lee's survivor group is crushed surely with the death of Clementine. But they will fight on for the supplies for the rest of their camp as we go into the end phase on turn 3. And nothing much to summarise on the end phase of turn 3. Threat level just bumps up from 9 to 10. 8 points away from the end of the game. With the loss of Clementine though, that brings me down to 2 supply tokens to my opponent's 3. So that has changed things up. We've got 2 supply tokens right in this mob of zombies here, or walkers. It's going to be a tough fight. Don't know what to do next, but we'll go into activation phase on turn 4. Alright, finally, it's the end of activation phase on turn 4 of this exciting, entertaining battle report. As we moved, Sandra's coming over here. She's going to have a showdown with Dale. It's a shame that she lost her, that she's got no ammo. Carl's come down towards Dale as well to back him up in combat. Dale ended up picking up a hockey stick from the supply counter over here, but nothing, he didn't want to hold on to it, so he dropped it. What else is happening? At the end of that turn, my opponent's got 4 supply tokens to my 3. And there's 2 up for grabs in the center, but a big mob of zombies there. Michonne hopped off the RV and is ready to go down with Grandpa Zombie. And Lee is around the corner as well. And he is engaged in a fight with another zombie here, Businessman Zombie. So Mealy's about to go down, but we're going to go into the event phase on turn 4. Alright, so event phase on turn 4 there. whanau won't stay down. Each prone walker gets up, but there were none, so threat level bumped up from 9 to 10. as my opponent last turn using Michonne, they dropped the initiative. I'll drop the threat level. But then we also had roll blue dice each and move that many walkers in a direction. So my opponent rolled 2 and he pulled them off the supply tokens in the center over that way. I rolled 1 and I pulled that one into take on Dale. Some more hands are going to throw down as we step into the melee phase on turn 4. Alright, finally the battle between Lee's group and Dale's group on the Atlantic campsite is reaching the boiling point. We're on threat level 11 currently, but successful melees. Carl didn't succeed his one though, but we got Dale victorious here, Michonne victorious here, and Lee knocked his one prone as well. So we'll wrap up the turn 4 with the end phase, see if anything exciting happens. Come back to you. Alright, so end phase on turn 4, all prone zombies that we beat that previous melee phase have all stood back up again there. So the hordes are uncounting and endless. As the battle rages on, initiative passes to my opponent and they'll lead us off for the activation phase on turn 5. Alright, finally, so end of the activation phase for turn 5. Turns are getting shorter as less people are alive to fight. Sandra snuck behind Carl and then drew that zombie over here into him. Dale's had to come over from here and take that zombie on for Carl. So we've got 2 combats about to throw down. Michonne is running over here. Don't know what she's up to. She's trying to just survive. She doesn't have the most of health, does she? And then Lee's coming over. He's ready to carve up. He's attracted Grandma Zombie, Clementine Zombie. If you remember, the heartbreaking combat's about to go down. Can he kill Clementine? Actually, I'll swap her. I'll replace her with Clementine's token and look even more sadder. Event phase for turn 5. The Walking Dead. Bumped the threat level from medium threat to 12 to 14 high threat. Reanimating prone walkers, of which there were none. But also bring in 2 blue dice of zombies. So we ended up rolling 4. The player with the initiative, and he targeted them to move towards Lee. So Lee is about to throw down with 4 zombies, and one of them there is zombie Clementine. So he is not going to have a good time. That is 1 + 2 + 3 + 4. 1 + 2 + 3 = 6 + 4, 10 red dice about to throw down against him. So a shocking event phase. We've only got 4 turns left before we hit max threat level. So we're going to see what's happening there. So we'll go into the melee. Right, finally, it's the end of the turn for the 5th turn. In this battle report here, which saw the death of Lee, outnumbered, rolling against 10 red dice. We've got 3 criticals and like white blips. He had his body armor on, proved ineffective and pretty much just a waste of money. So I won't be using that thing ever again. Really bad. So he fell to Clementine. Let's replace her with another zombie so I don't forget that she's dead. Dropping his supply counters. It's taking the game from... Now I'm on 1 point to my opponent's 4. And we're on threat level 16. So 2 more turns. The next turn will be the final one as the threat level is just going to go out of control, which it already is. Mobs of zombies here and here. 4 supply tokens up for grabs. But Michonne's got no ammo left in her gun. And these guys are wounded and battling out over here. So pretty crazy stuff. The zombie hordes are moving in towards this corner now. And the end phase, the threat level automatically bumps up. So 16 to 17. So next turn will be the final turn. We'll wrap it up and see how things play out. I've got the initiative, so I'll be starting off with Sandra as we go into turn 6, final turn. Alright, final end phase, end of activation phase on turn 6, the final turn there. Carl's run off towards the corner here, he's looking to escape. Dale's getting ready to hold off against the big zombie. Ruins in the center of over the campsite. Supply counters all over the place. That painted that paint on that barricade couldn't be more correct. And Michonne snuck off this way to draw another zombie into Sandra as we go into the event phase on turn 6. See what happens. Currently on 1 supply token to Lee's group, formerly Lee's group, now Sandra's group, to 4 to Dale's group. There's our event phase there, the hunger. Brings that threat level to the final level, 18. Nothing happens, a quiet turn. And that's going to close off the game. We're going to go into the melee phase and see if Sandra survives against these 2 zombies. We've got one over here. Let's wrap up with the nice ending, eh? Alright, whanau, so that's the end of the game in this 180-point battle between Lee's group and Dale's group, a supply battle at the Atlanta campsite here, and it hasn't ended well for either groups. Well, especially hasn't ended well for Lee's group. Lee died, Clementine died. Sandra survived that combat, but she took another wound, so she's got 2 more wounds left, and 1 supply counter, so she's going to run off, tail between her legs. Michonne and her are going to have a standoff, and she says, "Look, I've lost enough people, just let me go. I'm no trouble to you." And she's like, "Better walk, girl, better walk." And Sandra runs off. The campsite is now well infected with zombies, as the commotions caused full maximum mayhem. So all these valuable supply counters are going to have to be left there. So not an overwhelming victory for Dale's group. He'll acknowledge that. And as they only got 4 of the planned 7 supply counters, so they don't have a lot to bring back to their to the other survivors of the group. But I guess at the very least they can bring themselves back alive and well. And 4 supply tokens, not too bad. Prayers there with Lee and Clementine. But yeah, that was the end of that battle. Exciting battle. Lots of great stuff going down on a beautiful table. Beautifully painted models. So I hope you enjoyed that one there, whanau. And the second to last little bit of Walking Dead content there for the month until we come back with the season 2 potentially. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, give me a like, drop some comments there for other stuff you'd like to see me do and play, and like any particular boosters you want to see, and any rules areas and stuff like that. Probably plenty of them in here, I'm sure. But I know some of you guys are smart, you know what to do. Point it out, let me know. And thanks for watching once again. I am the maoriwargamer whanau. Ka kite anō.